These are the four hills of Veliko Tarnovo, Bulgaria. That one is Momina, that is Svetagora, that's Trapezica, and the one I'm standing on is Tsarevets. Together, the four make up the old town of what is known as just Tarnovo. There's also Kartala and Gargabair, but they weren't as important as the others. Although it existed during the First Bulgarian Empire, the city only became the capital of the Second Bulgarian Empire after the uprising of Asen and Peter. Afterwards, the city quickly grew to become the strongest medieval Bulgarian fortification, as well as the country's political, economic, and religious center, having an estimated population of somewhere between 12,000 to 15,000 inhabitants, including Armenians, Jews, and Frankish Catholics, and even claiming itself the title of Third Rome in the 14th century. The city's golden age ended on the 17th of July 1393, when the Ottoman Empire captured Ternograd and the capital was moved to Nicopolis, where 3 years later the Second Bulgarian Empire fell, following a battle between the Turks and much of Europe. Nowadays, the city is called Veliko Tarnovo, and it's only the 15th biggest city in Bulgaria. Now, back to the four hills. Svetagora, which means holy forest, is named as such because of the many monasteries located on it, there having been around 16 of them in total. Svetagora is also where the Tarnovo Literary School was first established by Saint Ephemius of Tarnovo. Today it remains a park and neighborhood in the city of Veliko Tarnovo. Momina, which means maiden, also called Devingrad, was the third most important hill of Tarnovo. Before housing Momina fortress, the hill was home to Deva, a Thracian and later Roman city. The fortress was first built during Byzantine times, and it housed many cow ranches and craftsmen, such as potters and blacksmiths, and it is said that because of them, the river Yantra and part of the hill were both heavily polluted. Trapezica, which either comes from the word trapeza, meaning table, or the word trapez, meaning trapezoid, first built in the 12th century, but mainly the 13th and 14th centuries, was the second most important fortress in the city of Tarnovo. The fortress was home to many important buildings, such as the St. John of Rila monastery outside of the walls, the Church of St. Demetrius of Thessaloniki, and many other churches and homes of numerous boyars. The walls of Trapezica had a height of 6 meters and it had 4 entrances, the main one being on the southeastern side, connecting it to Tsarevets fortress. Tsarevets was without any doubt the most important fortress of Tarnovo and the best kept one. Its walls still remain and the Patriarchal Ascension Cathedral still towers over the surrounding city. At the end of the 5th century, during the reign of Byzantine Emperor Anastasius I, there was a town built on Tsarevets called Zikideva. It is thought that the population of the nearby Nicopolis Adistrum, which is then declining, moved to Zikideva for better protection. The fortress that we see today was built in the 12th century, when Tarnovo became the capital of the Second Bulgarian Empire. Tsarevets fortress had 3 entrances. The main one, in the westernmost point of the fortress, another one called the Little Gate, which connected Tsarevets to Trapezica, and a third one, sometimes called the Frankaizarska Gate, which connected Tsarevets to the Frankish neighborhood at Boldin's Tower. The tower present today was built in 1933 by Alexander Rashenov and modeled after a tower from Cherven Fortress. Evidence shows that the Patriarchy had its own separate fortress inside Tsarevets, with the Patriarchal Cathedral of the Holy Ascension of the Lord at its center and highest point, possibly built by Tsar Ivan Alexander in the 14th century on top of a Roman basilica. The cathedral was repainted in 1985 in an unusual modernist style. North of it was the palace complex, which, like the Patriarchy, was its own fortress inside Tsarevets. It had a throne room, a church and many rooms located along the outside walls, and in the middle a garden. Outside the walls today you can still find the 800 years old Holy 40 Martyrs Church and Church of Saints Peter and Paul. In total, archaeologists have found on Tsarevets over 400 residential buildings, 22 churches and 4 monasteries. Today, the hills of Veliko Tarnovo rise quietly above the city, no longer the seat of an empire, but still alive with a reminder of the past. Momina, Svetagora, Trapezica, and Tsarevets, the hills that were once part of Tarnovo, remain, standing over the modern city of Veliko Tarnovo. Thank you for having watched this video.